Welcome everyone to the Travel Collective. Tonight we're welcoming Jane, as she is a proud New Yorker, has had a few brushes with the rich and famous, and who, despite her fear, zipped through the trees in Costa Rica. She has a massive collection of notebooks and once babysat for an 88-year-old woman. So welcome, Jane.
Welcome, Jane.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. So tell us about Australia. We're going to start the timer now.
So it's interesting. My daughter, who grew up traveling, we've taken her a lot of places, came home her sophomore year of college and said, I'm going to study abroad. And we're like, okay, so she's going to go to Europe. She's like, I'm going to Australia. I'm like, okay. So if she was going to Australia, Jane was going to Australia. So we planned a trip. We had been in Iceland that January for New Year's. And we planned a trip and decided to go in August to Australia. And the wild thing is that my husband and I have been married happily for 25 years, but our biggest fights are in the car. And I knew after 24 hours of traveling from New York to Australia that we didn't want to get right in a car. So we have become cruisers. We've cruised in Alaska. We've done the Disney cruises. We've done some other cruises. So we took a Princess cruise out of Brisbane and went all the way up to Port Douglas, and it was an incredible experience.
Wow.
We loved it. We got to see, all the things that you dream about when you're a little kid. So the first day we went and saw the koalas, and we got to feed them. And then that afternoon, a bonus was we got to go to a kangaroo farm. And you could literally walk up to the kangaroos as if they were pets. Oh. They were all just laying around, having a great life, not bothered by us whatsoever. One day later on in the trip, we actually went on a kangaroo hunt because we found out that like our bear or moose, when you're living in the Northeast, you go look for moose. Right. We went on a kangaroo hunt where you go to golf courses and they're hanging out there and you can see them wild.
Wow.
And then we got two amazing experiences. Were down in Airlie Beach. My husband and I decided to surprise our kids, and we went on a helicopter ride, actually an airplane ride, over the Great Barrier Reef. And the picture behind me is actually the heart reef that I took from the airplane. And then the next day, we got to scuba dive on, not scuba, who the hell am I kidding? I don't scuba dive. I'm a snorkeler. We got to snorkel on the Great Barrier Reef. And we took like this very fast boat called the Reef Sprinter, and it was just incredible. And then the second half of the trip, we had done enough that we went where my daughter was going to be studying at Bond College, which is up in the Gold Coast. And I am a huge proponent of HomeAway and VRBO, and TripAdvisor is my Bible, and figuring out where to go. And we found this incredible place to stay a block from the beach, and we just relaxed in the Gold Coast. And we were in Sydney for a couple of days and got to do the Sydney Zoo and just really got to understand the beauty of Australia. And even though it's a long trip from New York, I would go back there tomorrow. Wow. I loved Australia. I would live there. I loved Australia.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's beautiful. So can you share anything about the art, music, architecture, anything that spoke to you while you were there?
One of the things, my daughter is one of those people that loves finding the offbeat stuff. Right. So, and we must have taught her that. So we would go around and see all of the beautiful graffiti on the side of the buildings, which is happening all over the world. And we saw some really great art. In Sydney, there are sculpture gardens that we got to see. We went to the zoos. We actually went to the Blue Mountains. And I mean, talk about natural art. It's like, our Grand Canyon, the Blue Mountains.
Oh, wow.
And then in Coronda, down in the south by Cairns, we actually went to a village where everybody there was artists. And I got some really great stuff. My mom is into art, and I was able to get her some really cool necklaces. I actually got this in Australia.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so, yes, we saw lots of beautiful sights and and the food was great too. The food wasn't far off from what we're used to here. We've been a lot of places, and Australia has a lot of similarities to the United States.
Wonderful. So was there something that was unplanned or unexpected that you encountered?
I would say, just we went down to the lighthouse, which is like the most, I want to say eastern point of the United States, of Australia. And that was an unexpected thing because I'm a huge lighthouse person. So it was really, really cool. And just, seeing this heart reef and actually getting on a plane and getting to experience that with our family was incredible.
That sounds beautiful. And you mentioned the food. Is there anything specific about the food or a meal that you specifically enjoyed?
I would say that, we tried, they had lots of fun candies that you could try, and there are tom-toms, like cookies that are really, really fun.
Okay.
And we just ate a lot of, Australia's like a lot of beef, the steak and fries and stuff like that. So, and we were on the cruise a lot, so we were eating a lot of the same, the food there was just great. My son would tell you his favorite meal was the beef Wellington.
Okay. Oh, beef Wellington. I haven't had that. That's a complicated dish to make.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Well, it sounds like an incredible trip. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think, one of the things was having a cruise for 10 days and then having 10 days on land doing whatever we wanted was a really great way to see the country. And we saw the entire east coast of Australia.
Wonderful.
From north to south.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's our 7 minutes. Thank you, Jane, so much for sharing your story. Please click below if you'd like to hear more of our stories and travel with us through real stories, through real people.
I love it. Go to Australia. You will. It's a wonderful thing to do. You will not be disappointed.
Doesn't sound like